We have a ton of Disney park reopening news, a ton, and some big non-reopening news, along with a major change to a classic ride, and all the info you need about how Disney vacations are changing. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. All right, things are moving toward that reopening date in Disney World, but Disneyland has taken a huge step backwards. The park reservation system is open, but you might have a hard time getting through to Disney. That's an understatement. Oh yeah, and Splash Mountain is getting a complete overhaul. It's been a crazy week for Disney news, so let's get started. All right, starting with Disneyland. Disneyland will not be reopening on July 17th after all. Disney has officially announced that Disneyland Resort will not be opening on their proposed opening date because the state of California has indicated that it will not issue theme park reopening guidelines until sometime after July 4th. Given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back to work and restart our business, they say, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of our theme parks and resort hotels. They've not yet given a new proposed opening date for the parks, but Downtown Disney will reopen on July 9th as planned. Downtown Disney will be using similar safety precautions to the ones we've seen in Disney Springs, with limited capacity and limited hours, along with temperature checks and mandatory masks. Downtown Disney will also be welcoming a new shoe store, California Soul, later this summer. All right, next big news. Let's talk. It is crazy to me, by the way, the Disney Parks Pass reservation system opened, and that's not our biggest news right now. That's just, this week has been crazy, you guys. I'm pretty sure I've slept like 2 hours this whole week. Okay, Splash Mountain is changing big time. Disney has officially announced that Splash Mountain will be getting a big overhaul in both Disneyland and Disney World, both coasts. The ride will be rethemed as a Princess and the Frog attraction. According to Disney, Walt Disney Imagineering, the creative arm of the company, has been developing a Princess and the Frog backstory for Splash Mountain since last year and settled on many of the concepts for their reimagined attraction last summer. So there's no time frame on that right now. We don't know when it's changing. We don't know when the refurb is happening. We don't know when Splash Mountain's going down. So we will keep you updated on that on the blog and here on the channel. All right, Disney Parks Pass reservation system. Finally, we are to the what we thought was going to be the biggest news this week. So guests with existing hotel reservations with tickets and annual pass holders are now able to make Park Pass reservations for dates July 11th, 2020 through September 26th, 2021. Now remember, Park Pass reservation, that's the way you get into the Disney theme parks now. Because they are limiting capacity, you have to basically make a reservation for a specific day to go into a theme park. Okay, those who have tickets without a hotel reservation can start booking those park reservations tomorrow. Now, Disney is requiring all park guests to have both a valid ticket and a Disney Parks Pass to get into a theme park. You'll only be able to visit one park per day. There's no park hopping for the time being. Disney has said that more reservations will open at a later date, so presumably there were reservations held aside for pass holders that released today, and more may be released for other ticket holders on the 28th. We'll keep watching how things play out, but some of those first few dates sold out when reservations were first released. Hollywood Studios seems to be the one going the quickest. It is Disney's smallest park, so capacity is likely lower, and that with the two new rides, Res the Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, in addition to Slinky Dog Dash and Millennium Falcon, 4 super popular rides in that park, it's likely going to be a top pick for most people. Currently, you're not able to modify your park passes, so you'll need to cancel and rebook if you need to change your selections. Now, this system rollout hasn't been without some glitches. People waited hours that first day to secure park reservations, and many people were having trouble getting the system to load, or having trouble getting their tickets to register in the system, particularly annual pass holders with hotel reservations. Now, some of those glitches have been sorted out, but it is still going to take you a long time to get a hold of Disney, potentially on the phones, if you do have a problem. Now, we've got a step-by-step guide on how to make those park pass reservations over on DisneyFoodblog.com, along with answers to all of your questions and all the latest updates. All right, so let's talk about those phone lines real quick. Phone lines were down pretty much all week. Reaching Disney this past week has been extremely difficult. I have spent personally probably about 20 hours on hold this week. And a lot of people need to contact Disney right now to change or cancel their vacations or deal with their park pass glitches. So this is a big problem. Now, we've heard lots of reports of not even getting through the typical Disney hold music and just being stuck with a busy signal. That happened nonstop. Guests are reporting having to redial hundreds of times, hearing a busy signal or all circuits are busy message before getting placed into a hold queue. I personally had to redial an entire hour. I had to redial the phone over and over and over again just to get placed into a hold queue, and then I was on hold for 4 hours just to talk to somebody. But don't worry, we are calling and asking all of your questions, and we are updating our FAQ. We're updating all the information on the blog. We've got annual pass holder specific FAQs for you. We are really trying to get all the questions you guys are asking us answered. So keep sending your questions. We're doing our best. You can also use the chat feature on Disney's website, but it may take a while to get through to someone there as well. Just keep that window open. Even if you don't see anybody responding right away, sometimes it'll take an hour or 2 hours for a chat person to respond to you. Now, you can email, which may take several days to be answered, or try reaching out to Disney via social media. Overall, just be patient and check to see if we've gotten your question answered over on DisneyFoodblog.com. All right, Disney World hotels began to open this week. Another thing we thought would be huge news, and we're already through the 4 big news items before it. We've brought you inside the reopened hotels at Disney World. That was in our video on Thursday. And inside the first character meal to reopen at Topolino's Terrace. You can check that out in this video here. Notably, we didn't encounter temperature checks when we arrived at the hotel. Disney's operating on an honesty policy at this time, requiring guests to agree to a health waiver before their arrival. Now, this policy could change in the future, so stay tuned. For the time being, buses are the only transportation around Disney World, and they can take some time as there are a lot fewer running right now and they have limited capacity. The monorail and the Skyliner should reopen when the parks reopen, but we'll keep you updated on that as well. Now, Disney's new chat feature just for Disney hotel guests has started up, though it can take some time to get through to someone to help with your room requests or questions. At this time, only some of Disney World's Vacation Club properties are open to guests. Disney has released a full list of opening dates for other hotels around the resort. Pop Century and Contemporary will open July 10th. Animal Kingdom Lodge Jambo House has just been removed from that list, by the way, if you saw that list earlier. Caribbean Beach is going to open July 29th. The Polynesian and Art of Animation will open August 12th. Yacht and Beach Club on August 24th. Currently, by the way, Disney Vacation Club rooms at the Beach Club are open. And the Grand Floridian Resort will open September 21st. Boardwalk will open on October 1st and Coronado Springs on October 14th. Now, it's important to note that if your booked resort is not scheduled to be open during your reservation dates and you still want to go to Disney World during that time, you will need to contact Disney to modify your reservation or it could be canceled. Guests are beginning to receive emails to verify that they're still planning on coming, whether they need to modify or if they'd like to cancel. But you should still take matters into your own hands. Try to contact Disney and change that reservation if your booked hotel is not opening. All right, so let's talk about what's going to be reopening in the theme parks. Disney has made some big announcements around that recently. Most of your favorite rides, shops, and attractions, as well as entirely new entertainment, will be opening up and happening in Disney World starting July 11th for Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom and July 15th for Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. As for rides, nearly everything will be reopening in all the parks. In Magic Kingdom, it appears that only Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor will remain closed. Spaceship Earth is officially confirmed as reopening in Epcot, though Turtle Talk with Crush will remain closed. In Animal Kingdom, Primeval Whirl will continue to stay closed. It operates seasonally now. And both Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo the Musical will not reopen. Hollywood Studios appears to have everything open as far as rides go, though you won't be catching stage shows like Indiana Jones or Beauty and the Beast. Other than that, everything will be open as far as we know, but that can change. Now, rides will not be using virtual queues or single rider lines when they reopen. And for those who don't know, virtual queues are basically lines that you don't stand in. You get on a line via your smartphone, and then they text you when it's time for you to come back and ride. We thought for sure they would do that because that's technically what they do with the boarding groups over at Rise of the Resistance. But Disney is not opening with any virtual queues at the moment, though they may come later. And right now, Disney's not anticipating super long wait times because the capacity will be so limited in the parks. So we'll see what happens. All right, now of course you guys know you won't get to hug the characters, but you will see them, and some more entertainment will begin when the parks open. Magic Kingdom will get 5 new character cavalcades that will go along the parade route, including the Royal Princess Processional, Mickey and Friends Cavalcade, Fantasyland Friends Cavalcade, a Goofy Cavalcade, and the Tinkerbell and Lost Treasure Cavalcade. The Main Street Philharmonic will also be returning. And Epcot's going to get some character appearances. The Frozen Promenade, Mickey and Friends World Tour, Princess Promenade, and Mariachi Cobre, the Jammers, and Carol Stein from Rose and Crown will all be back. The Hollywood Studios character appearances include Disney Junior Stars Motorcade, Mickey and Friends Motorcade, Pixar Motorcade, and we're not sure just what will happen in Galaxy's Edge as far as characters go, but you should see some characters around the park outside of those cavalcades as well. But we do know that Savi's Workshop, the store experience where you can build a custom lightsaber, will be closed at this time. Although Disney has not spoken to this directly, they just didn't put it on the opening list, so that could change as well. Stay tuned. Animal Kingdom is going to see characters in boats on the waterways around the parks. Discovery River Character Cruise will be happening, the Discovery Island Drummers, and Donald's Dino Boat Bash, as well as the Mickey and Friends Flotilla. Disney World has also released a list of restaurants that will open with the parks, and quite a lot of them are included. You can see the full list over at DisneyFoodblog.com. All right, let's talk about construction. We showed you the current construction update on Cinderella Castle in our hotel video, but if you haven't seen it, it is definitely pink. And we also got a peek at the Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom Walkway, and things are moving along there. Now, there's still no end date, and Disney hasn't even officially announced that this is a walkway to the Magic Kingdom, but permits seem to say that it is. So we're waiting for that official announcement and a finalization date. For larger projects around Disney, they've announced that while Avengers Campus at Disneyland and Disneyland Paris will stay on track, other rides like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Disneyland and the Tron Coaster in Magic Kingdom may see delays due to the park closures. Other project timelines are still being evaluated, including just when that overhaul of Splash Mountain will happen. Notably, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind were not mentioned in this little update, so we're not sure exactly what's going on with those. We also didn't hear anything about Space 220 yet, so stay tuned on all of those Epcot projects. All right, big news, you can now start planning your 2021 Disney World trip. Hotel and ticket reservations for 2021 are now available for booking through September 26, 2021. Disney has not yet released more 2020 tickets or hotel reservations, though. That will happen later this summer if there's availability once they get everything sorted out with current reservation holders. So for all of you who are writing to us, we are getting the direct messages and the emails about the 2020 tickets and hotel reservations. We are hoping that they will open those up soon, but it didn't happen on the 24th, and we are still waiting for the date when that's going to happen. Next up, let's talk travel advisories. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut residents traveling to Florida must self-quarantine for 2 weeks upon entry into the state. And now those states are requiring those returning or traveling from Florida to self-quarantine as well. The Tri-State Travel Advisory also includes those traveling from other states, including Texas, South Carolina, Washington, and several others. Now here's some more interesting travel news. The TUI Travel Agency, which is one of Europe's most prominent travel and tourism companies, will be canceling all United Kingdom vacations to Florida until December, according to Yahoo Finance. TUI has made this decision after reviewing Disney World's new health and safety protocols, like the use of face coverings, temperature screenings, and limited capacity. TUI is allowing its customers to delay their Florida vacations until next year, change their destinations entirely, or get a full refund. All right, we're seeing more cancellations from Disney Cruise Line and Adventures by Disney. So Disney Cruise Line has suspended departures for the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy through September 15th, 2020. This announcement follows the cancellation of the Disney Wonder sailings through September 14th and Disney Magic sailings through October 2nd. Disney Cruise Line has just introduced a new cruise date flexibility policy, however. Guests with pre-existing bookings and those who make new bookings will have the extra assurance of knowing they can modify their reservation up to 15 days before their departure date without penalty. This is good for trips from August 31st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021. All guests may take advantage of this offer and may change their sailing date to a future sailing date prior to April 1st, 2020. Adventures by Disney has suspended all of its previously scheduled departures through September 15th, 2020. Impacted guests may receive the option of a full refund or a transfer of the cost of their trip. And Disney's Aulani Resort in Hawaii is one of the resorts that's still in a full closure. Now, new bookings have been pushed another month to August 1st. Aulani will now waive all Disney-imposed change and cancellation fees up to the date of check-in for arrivals through July 31st. Now, we're seeing some serious menu changes happening at restaurants all over Disney World. They just announced the restaurants that will be opening in the parks, and they are starting to shrink those menus down a little bit. Tony's Town Square, Tiffin's, Le Cellier, 50's Primetime Cafe, they're all seeing the options significantly reduced as Disney pares down menus to manage the drop in food sales due to capacity restrictions. Be Our Guest at Magic Kingdom has seen some big changes, however. Breakfast will not be served at this restaurant upon the reopening, and lunch, which was previously a very popular counter service dining offering, will be the same as dinner, featuring a prefix meal at a signature dining price point. Lunch will now be just as expensive as dinner. Adult prefix meals cost $62, and kids' meals are $37. This is super sad because I love Be Our Guest lunch, and it's kind of a bummer that you're not going to get the great deal that you used to get on that counter service lunch, at least for now. And we've got some new restaurants to report coming to Disney Springs. Last week we told you about Gideon's Bakehouse opening a storefront in Disney Springs, and we believe it may go in the Rustic Cuff building, which is now empty. But a new donut shop is coming as well. Disney Springs just announced the debut of the all-new restaurant concept of Everglazed Donuts and Cold Brew. Pretty straightforward combo of coffee and donuts, and this one is coming from the same restaurant group that runs Splitsville and Homecoming. And Florida has implemented a brand new alcohol ban. The Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation has announced a statewide ban of on-premises alcohol consumption at bars effective immediately. Any establishment that makes more than 50% of its income from the sale of alcohol will be forced to close its doors for the time being. According to the cast members we spoke to, Orange County officials have said Disney Springs restaurants are still okay to serve alcohol. The only locations that are no longer being permitted to serve alcohol are locations that don't offer or are very limited food sales. This means several locations that had just opened were forced to close their doors again, like Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar and Dockside Margaritas. Note, however, that these locations may still be allowed to sell to-go alcohol in sealed containers. We'll keep you updated on this as we get more information. And we've finally got some new snacks to share with you. The Welcome Back Aloha Cupcake is over there at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. We finally have a new resort specialty cupcake, and it did not disappoint. This one features a rich chocolate cake topped with a mountain of rainbow-colored buttercream icing and a raspberry frosting-filled center. It's $5.99. We found it over at Captain Cook's. And we also have a new Hoot cocktail to tell you about. This is a classy drink at Wine Bar George. Mixes Hooten whiskey and ginger beer and creme de cassis for $15. The new Hooten Young American Whiskey has been aged 12 years and was discovered by Master Sommelier George Miliates himself. The whiskey is nice and smooth, so it's safe enough for people who normally don't drink whiskey. FYI, it's not going to burn that much. You can also order the whiskey straight up if you'd like to try it. We're also dining at lots of restaurants around Disney Springs and also in the Disney Resort hotels. So if you're looking for full restaurant reviews and a bit of what Disney is serving right now, head over to DisneyFoodblog.com to check those out. And FYI, we don't have them all written up yet because we just ate at a bunch of places this week, so those are coming as well. All right, merchandise news. We got some great new merch to share with you guys. First up, those Loungefly Pin Trader mini ears. Loungefly is combining two of our favorite pieces of Disney merchandise, pins and mini ears. The leather ears feature tiny holes that you can hook your pins into. Loungefly also released the Minnie Mouse balloon ears. These are fabric ears that give the illusion they are inflated balloons with Minnie's original look with a flower and blue polka dot bow for $30. They've already sold out online, FYI. And we've got two new magic bands to tell you about. Over at Pin Traders in Disney Springs this week, the bright Mickey magic band is lime green with smiling suns, some summery fruit, and Mickey himself for $29.99. And we also spotted a new 2020 annual pass holder magic band if you want to commemorate 2020. The red band features Donald in front of the Tower of Terror, also $29.99. The Disney Stitch Shop is open. Loungefly has officially released their Disney Stitch Shop with outfits designed for Disney bounding or dressing in a way inspired by a character, if you don't know what Disney bounding is. Shirts, dresses, skirts, and more will help you channel your favorite Disney characters. And there's a new Loungefly for Pocahontas. June 23rd marked the 25th anniversary of the release of Pocahontas. Yes, I am feeling old as well. And Loungefly celebrated with a brand new collection. There's a crossbody bag and a wallet in the collection featuring the silhouette of Pocahontas, her friends Miko and Flit. The collection does not have a release date just yet, but we wanted to make sure you saw it. All right, Box Lunch has new Baby Yoda bags. The first one is the Child Frog Figural Mini Backpack. It features a child chowing down on a frog, and the Child Figural Insulated Lunch Bag has a cute little fleece collar detail. You'll find them on the Box Lunch website. And if you want to keep accessorizing with Star Wars characters, we also spotted these super cute fuzzy Chewbacca youth socks at World of Disney for $9.99. Now this one I love, you guys, the Jungle Cruise Skipper Backpack. There are a ton of details on this burlap-esque backpack. Steering wheel, spears, and masks adorn the outside of the bag, while the inner lining pattern is covered with jungle plants. Take it on your next adventure for $49.99. There's a brand new Up Pandora Charm, the latest Pandora Charm we spotted at the newly reopened Pandora store in Disney Springs is the Up Charm. It looks just like Carl's house from the movie with rhinestones for the balloons. This one's going to be $55. And finally, we want to tell you about that Stitch phone case. It's a new case we saw at World of Disney. Comes with a shoulder strap, making it great for minimalist park days. That one's $44.99. We also saw a new Pixar phone case with the blue sky and fluffy white clouds. I love this, reminiscent of Andy's wallpaper from Toy Story. Has a 3D Luxo ball on it, and this one's $29.99. So there is the news, you guys. So much going on. Every time we kind of settle down here, we get another huge news drop, and we're not expecting that to end anytime soon. We think there will be more information after all. We're still waiting to find out when we can book dining reservations in the parks, want to know when we can book annual pass holder previews, want to know those food and wine festival menus too, right? They've only got a couple of weeks before it starts. So stay tuned here to DFE Guide, and of course, go over and join our newsletter. We tell people immediately when any of this big stuff happens so that you can get right on the phone, on the website, and get your things booked that you want to do. Thanks for listening, you guys, and thanks for watching. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.